y'all. So, good evening. I'm glad to see that you guys are loving my videos as I go through this process and I'm just, talking about it. You know, I did a video yesterday talking about, one particular relationship that I was in. And in that, people were kind of questioning why I, sent that person an email, um, just giving my piece, um, to get my peace. So giving my peace, Piece, to get my peace, Peace. I hope I spelled peace right. But anyways, so I had to tell few folks, that's my process. Don't judge my process. Because let's be clear, okay? It is necessary. Whatever it is that you need to do to get through your process, you do that. And like I stated before in other videos, that everybody has a process that they have to go through. And everybody is not going to understand that process that you are going through, or even why you did what you did in regards to that process. But it's your process, and no one has the right to necessarily judge your process. However, they will always give an opinion. And like my grandmother always tells me, everybody got an opinion, including, you being the individual. Everybody has an opinion. However, that's you that's walking through that journey that you need to take to get to your process. And let me tell you something, going through that process is not easy. So let's be clear. Your process is your process, and you can't allow people to judge your process. However, whatever you do within that process, be prepared for whatever consequences there will be in that process from doing that process. So, like, I remember I talked to this lady and she asked me, she was going through a divorce, and she says, what advice would you give to me since I'm going through a divorce? And I told her, well, I really can't give you any advice because your situation is your situation. And when you're talking about matters of the heart, nobody can really tell you what's the best thing to do. What I told her is just like my dad had told me when I was going through my divorce. This is your process, and you need to do whatever it is that you need to do. So, like at that particular time, she started going to the range and shooting. I said, if you want to shoot up his car 5 times, even if you want to shoot him, because I think she felt that way. I said, that's your process. That's what you feel like you need to do. However, be prepared, honey. Let's be clear. Be prepared for whatever consequences that may come. Okay? So, I definitely wanted to just let people know your process is your process. It's not for anyone else. It is for you. Because you need to get to the other side you need to get to the other side of whatever this situation that you're going through is. You need to get to the other side so that you can then, encourage someone else. Because a lot of times the things that we go through, it's hard and it's rough when we're going through it. And we don't understand why. And I'm the first one to tell you that. I don't ever understand why. But as I have lived and I see, what you go through is not for you. It's for you to encourage someone else that may be going through the same situation. And you're letting them know, you are not alone. I felt the same way. I went through the same thing. So I say all that because, and so with that, I should say, with that, I talked to, I said my piece, Pice, to both, and I'll give names, but not real names, But I said my piece to Sergeant Slaughter, and then I said my piece to Latrice, okay? And, and that was my process. It had nothing to do with them. I wasn't even expecting them to validate and solidify what I was feeling in necessarily a response. So let's be clear. I was not looking for no response. I just needed to say my piece. And let me tell you something. When you speak your piece, and they do respond, which depending on the individual that you're with, whether it's male or female, hopefully they're mature enough to be able to hear what you're saying, marinate, if you will, meditate on what it is you say, and and so then it becomes something that they can, think about and maybe correct or not. It just depends. But there are times when you speak your piece and you get, the little nasty gram emails like I got on yesterday from Latrice. And so, it then causes you to, sometimes you feel like, well, should I have done that, but, and it's always okay to second guess some things and to, make sure you're in the right or whatever. But again, part of your process, and then be ready for the consequences, and consequences are not a bad thing. Consequences, they have taken on a negative connotation. And when people hear the word consequences, they hear, punishment. They hear, nothing good. They just hear evil, or they hear bad stuff. But consequences could be a good thing. Consequences could be that, you go through your process and maybe you decided that I'm going to sleep with this person until I feel like I'm ready not to. And then after you do that, you get to a point where the consequence is that you realize, man, I have been sent in this situation with this person and I should not have been. So that's a consequence, and it's not bad. It's something where you have to do that inner check, do that checks and balances within yourself to get to the place that you need to be. So, that's just, so, let's be clear. Go through your process, okay? And be ready for the consequences and come out of this as a winner. Come out of this stronger. Come out of this to be a better person. You know what I mean? And it's not to be a better person to that person that rejected you or lied on you or cheated on you or whatever. Be a better person because, God is calling us to be, men and women, better men and women. You know what I mean? And so I just say, go through that process, So, and, it's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be difficult at times. And you may lose some friends along the way. You may, because then as you go through your process, then you begin to see how people are. So I say that to say, in my situation with Latrice and the other relationship, which I think I gave him the title, The Old Guy, both of them, we both shared a mutual friend. So me and Latrice shared this person, and me and the old guy shared the same person. And, people will perpetrate and act like they are down for you. They will act like they are in your corner. They will even act like at times that they understand what you've been through. But I promise you, keep on going through this process and you will find out, okay? Let's be clear, you will find out that who they are standing for and whose side they definitely leaning on, okay? So, I say all that to say, you may lose people along the way, and it may be that you found out that this person is not really in my corner. Or they may say, I don't want to be friends with you. I'm friends with this person or whatever. So, but in my case, it was the mere fact, that when I would talk to her about something, then she would turn around and like go and tell the old guy certain things when I was in the relationship with him. And even with Latrice, he said something in the email yesterday like, oh, you got played by your ex or something like that. So, I've talked about this in my videos, right? And this dude don't know nothing about my videos. But I talked to the mutual friend about how I felt and how I felt that I was played and everything. So it would lead me to believe, and I don't know, y'all, because, I may not be that smart, all right? Although I did not ride the bus that goes round and round in short. I did not. However, let's be clear. I ain't stupid, okay? So when I read that from him, then it made me understand, like, okay, so she told you this. And I'm talking to her, and I'm pouring out my heart to her and talking to her about things, and then you turn around and you go and tell this dude. And let's be clear also, okay? And at the end of the day, she had demonstrated who she really was friends with, and clearly that was not me. And you know what, you guys, it's okay. But let me say something. It's okay when people do certain things to you. And I'm not saying it's okay like, yay, they did it, it's okay. No, I'm saying it's okay because at that, they're showing you. They're showing you who they are. And they're showing you where you match up to them in their life. They're showing you that. So in that regard, I'm saying it's okay because don't spend time. And let's be very, very clear here. Don't spend your time arguing with these people. Don't spend your time going back and forth, with these people. And so, I just, at that point, like when I asked her the other day, did she feel like, Latrice having this girl that he's now dating to respond to me was, right? She couldn't even say that it wasn't right. She wouldn't even say it with her own mouth. However, and I went through this when I was dating the old guy too, and he did everything damnable to me, and she would never say that he was wrong. And I mean, I'd be hurt. She would never say it. She would never say it. So, and so for me, the incident that happened with Latrice and all that, that was for me the straw that broke the camel's back. And I realized, no, you're not in my corner. That's what you're not. And let me tell you, she has an attitude where she don't care. That's just the last person that she has to deal with. And guess what? And she is right. So let's be clear. She's okay. It's okay for her not to care. And it's okay that I'm not friends with her either. Okay? Now, and so so when I say like it's okay, when people do stuff, you have to take on that mentality that it's okay. Why? Because you will find yourself, if you don't, wasting energy trying to argue with somebody, and you'll be, as the Bible say, casting your pearls among swine, okay? You will be doing that, and that's not, your pearls are precious, okay? Your pearls are priceless, and so you should not throw them to anyone, especially when they want to sit and argue or looking for you to sit and argue with them, and so like the emails that I experienced, that I was getting from that girl, whoever she is, I'll say she's a bottom feeder, and then then got the email from Latrice, and you're trying to go back and forth with me, and I mean they're talking. I don't really know what the girl said. I read the one email in which I then responded, but then the other one she was sending, I didn't even pay attention to any of it. But I did tell her, like, I'm not reading your stuff. You are really exhibiting silly women behavior that the Bible talks about. And, so that was my stance with her each and every time. And then, of course, I was letting her know, like, I'm not fighting for this dude, girl. You are bringing a knife to, Sesame Street that is not trying to fight with you. Okay? Let's be clear. Put your knife away, homie. Okay? Put your knife away, homegirl. Put it away. All right? And let's just, have a happy day. You know what I mean? But people ain't always built like that. And so, I didn't go back and forth with her. Oh, you this. No. And even with him, he's calling me all out my name. I'm bags of bees and some other stuff. Then you want to talk about my kids, going to take care of your effing kids. And I'm thinking, dude, you got 6 of these little, bastards. So why are you talking about my kids? You know what I mean? And disrespecting them in that manner. But see, when people do that kind of stuff, then they show you what and who they really are. So, and he even said, you gonna make the nigga come out of me. And he was right. He was all the way niggified. He was all the way niggerish. And, so let's be clear. He was definitely a nigga in that email. However, all I could do was give responses of trying to, the Bible says soft words turns away wrath, right? And I was, just basically, ain't nobody, you prove my point, ain't nobody mad but the devil and you, bless those that curse you. I'm giving him scripture, have a great life, God bless. Then he's getting mad and he's getting all hyped up like he gonna do. And let's be clear, y'all. People can talk big stuff via email. But if you're really about that life, then you would stand up like a woman or a man and say what you need to say, But what I'm finding out here is that, and I would say within my relationships, for some reason, I have dated a lot of men that act like girls, okay? And so, the funny thing is I've been missing some of my little underwear, some thongs too. So I think they may have put them on. I think they have. But, that may be their process too. Who am I to judge? I'm just like, please take the Victoria's Secret underwear off and put on, the Fruit of the Looms for men or Hanes His Way for men. Please put on them briefs. Please, by all means, put them on and stand up like a man, okay, or a woman, and do things proper. And that's, but everybody doesn't have it in them. So let's be clear. Wherever you're at in maturity level, honey, I promise you they are not. And so, when Latrice responded, he was, showing all this stuff. And it was just, and I refused to take the bait. I refused to get in there. I mean, even when he talked about my kids, no, let me tell you something, y'all. Let me give you this disclaimer real quick and fast. And let's be clear. I have no problem, not one iota problem, of getting you together when you want to come for me, okay? I have no problem. And I mean, I'll talk about you so bad, I'll start on your left pinky toe and come up the left side, come over to the right, and then meet you down at that right pinky toe when I done got you all together about your life with my mouth. But I didn't feel like that was necessary, and I did not want to exhibit that behavior. I felt like, my thought was, don't let a fool bring out the fool in you, okay? That was my thought. So don't let that fool bring out the fool in you, okay? Live by that, okay? And so, I just was responding with peace, Peace. So, I'm telling you guys to just walk through your process. And healing, when you're going through a healing, is so long, number one, and it's really grimy, and you begin to see things about yourself that you're like, ugh. I'm like, ugh. That's me? That's me? Wait a minute. Then you wiping down your glasses. Things seem a little blurry. Is that really me? You be like, is that me? Is it me? Oh, yes, homegirl. Yes, sir. It is definitely you. And so when it comes, when it's brought to your attention about something that makes you look, ugly, or something that you need to fix about yourself, you know, it comes to help you so that when you come up out of it, you're better. And you should always want to be a better person. You should always want to be better. You should always want every single last one of your experiences that you have went through. You should want them to make you into a better person and not a bitter person. Okay? And let me tell you, y'all, I'm not gonna tell you I arrived. I'm not even gonna tell you that I hold the crown to not be bitter on some things. But what I do know, just like Jeremiah talked about being marred clay, and how when you sit on the potter's wheel and they begin to mold you, they're cleaning out all that gook, you know what I'm saying? So this is the process. This is your process. So right now you're sitting on the potter's wheel and you're getting all that junk and that gook. And so that junk could be bad friendships, people that are friendships, you let them go. That junk could be, of course, those bad relationships. The junk could be, you may not need to be at that place of employment where you're at because it's not helping you, whatever, but you're sitting on the potter's wheel and you are getting molded into something. Okay, you may start out as clay, and that'll be a hot junky mess. Okay, so let's be clear, ain't nobody getting on a potter's wheel and they good to go. No, we are all starting off as marred clay. Okay. And then when you get on that potter's wheel and God begins to, help clean out that gook about you as he's forming you into being something. And you go through that process and you experience maybe hurt, and you may experience disappointment, and you may experience, losing friendships or even severing ties with certain family. And let me say this, side note. Just because people are your family, that does not mean that you have to maintain that relationship with them. Because the truth of the matter is, just like the people that you run into that may not be good for you or could be toxic, that's how family members are too. Okay, there are some family members that could be toxic and not edifying you in any shape, form, or fashion. Man, cut them off. And it's hard to do. I do know it's easier said than done. But when you're on that potter's wheel and you're getting all that clay, you're being formed into something and getting all that gook off of you, you have to drop it. And the Bible talks about dropping every weight that so easily besets us, right? So you got to drop it, and because when you are formed into something on that potter's wheel, you're ready to be put in this hot little furnace and be baked. Okay, you're ready to be baked to where you're getting out all the impurities, everything that makes that is not edifying for you in your life, that is not necessary for you to carry into your future, that's not necessary for you to have for your purpose. At that point, it's being burnt off of you, okay? And so this is the process. And then once you come out that oven, you're looking like this beautiful, beautiful vase or whatever else. And so I just want to talk about, the processes. The process. It's your process, not my process, not his process, not her process, but your process. And whatever it is you choose to do, it's still your process. You just make sure that as you go through your process, you come out a better person. And don't let no one judge your process. Don't let them do it. They can give their opinion, and that's only if you ask for it. If you ain't asking and soliciting their opinion, tell them to keep them to themselves. Let's be clear. We don't need that. As my daughter used to say, I can't want that when she was younger and didn't like the food that I would cook for her and I put it in the plate, and she'd be like, "What is this?" And she'd smell it. Then she'll say, "I can't want that." And that's how we have to be when people are wanting to give their opinions that are not edifying to you. You gotta, man, be very clear on this. I can't want that. Okay? You don't want to hear it. So, I just think that, I just want to clear it up and be very clear. Let's be very clear. This is your process. Nobody else but yours. And you're not in it alone. I mean, Jesus is there to walk by you. Sometimes you may have to call on a friend, but make sure they are a real friend, not one that's perpetrating so they can know your business and then spread it around. Make sure they're a friend that's gonna be there no matter what. And encourage you, go through your process, girl, man, or encourage you, go through your process, man, so you can get to the other side. And it's important that you do that. I remember a message that was preached and it was called, "It's painful, but it's necessary." The process is very painful, but when you get to the other side, it was necessary for the building of you. So let's be clear, okay? This is your process. It's only for you. Nobody can walk it but you. You and Jesus. So go through it. And sometimes it is hurtful and you may have to cry. You may have to sit in the bed for days. You may be, eating cupcakes, Twinkies, bonbons, and some more stuff. And the consequence, if you do that, you might be a fatty waddy. Just saying. But, okay, just being clear. Let's be clear on that. So, and as I'm going through this process and I'm talking about these certain relationships and things, it's really helping me to get to a healing spot. The truth of the matter is, I think this is the longest that I have not been in a relationship. And it feels good. It feels good to me because I know that it is necessary. I need to detox, from these very bad relationships that were not edifying to me at all, and that's what and it's necessary for me to go through that period of time. So, but I encourage people, I want to encourage y'all, let's be clear. If you feel like you need to speak your peace, P-I-C-E, to someone to get to your peace, P-E-A-C-E, by all means, honey, do it. Okay? And be prepared. They may not receive you because they're not mature enough. Or they may, and everybody can walk away with a level of understanding and closure if that's what they need or whatever. So don't fall for the okie doke with people, and I'm doing these videos and I'm thinking about these past relationships. I'm like, oh God, I was so guilty of that, Lord. Good God, right? So I just want to tell y'all, go through your process. It may be lonely. You may have to cry. You may have to scream. I can't tell you how many times I was, crying while I'm on the bus. I'm just crying, got my shades on, tears coming down. I'm just crying, listening to Kirk Franklin's "He'll Take the Pain Away, I Know." I'd be sitting there listening to that, just boo-hoo and crying like, Lord, please take this away, please. So, but God is with you. I'm here to encourage you. Let's be clear. Don't slight yourself in your process. It's always necessary. I really hope that you guys are being safe out there. You are keeping your 6 feet social distance as we're going through this pandemic. The COVID-19 virus. I really hope that you guys are staying safe. And I know it's getting rough for people to stay in home, but y'all, let me tell you something. Don't be going out here just handing over, figuratively, your immune system to the COVID-19 by being around people and being out at the park, at Sewell Park, and all these stuff. No, Don't hand over your immune system. Make that COVID-19 really have to find you. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean is, you keeping your social distance, you keeping things clean, you ain't doing all this. I was watching this show, The First 48, and the guy asked the suspect, "Why was you running from me?" He said, "Man, you guys are earning a paycheck every day to find me, so I ain't gonna make it easy for you. I'm gonna make you come and find me." And so the same thing with the COVID-19. Make that COVID-19 really have to hump for you, because you are keeping that social distance. You are staying away from people. You are staying away, from the parks and stuff where things are crowded. Yeah, no, don't just hand over your immune system by doing something foolish. So I hope you guys are being safe. I hope you guys are encouraged, and let's be clear, I am here to encourage you. And I hope that you find your peace. Peace. Okay? So let's be clear, it's your girl, C Will. So I hope you have a good one. Till the next time. Subscribe, like, please share. Okay, because somebody may be going through it and they may need it. All right. Love you guys. Bye.